Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about having an Aries Sun and Scorpio Mars in a natal chart. Now, first off, with the Sun in Aries, the basic fundamental character may be aggressive, assertive, combative, forceful, and impatient. Now, with Mars in Virgo, you may be capable of doing things that may seem insurmountable to others. Mars and Scorpio, of course, very good placement. Mars being in its dignity in Scorpio, and the Sun being in its exaltation in Aries. It's a good combination as far as energy and willpower goes. Aries Sun generally does not hold on to a grudge. Aries is not known to be vengeful or vindictive, but when you have the Mars in Scorpio, there may be some revenge-fueled anger connected with the placement. Aries Sun may act impulsively. Now, however, when you have Mars in Scorpio, there may be an ability to control the anger more. And if the let's say if the Sun makes an opposition to Mars, as an example, let's say if you have the Aries Sun at 29 degrees and Mars in Scorpio is at 1 degree, you would have an opposition aspect between the Sun and Mars. And if you have the opposition with the Sun and Mars, then there may be a conflict between matters pertaining to the self, matters that are more self-centered and egocentric, which is the Sun, and sexual partners, which is Mars. There may be a conflict between one and the other, and the activities with one may conflict with the other. And now, also, too, if you have an inconjunct aspect between the Sun and Mars, let's say that the Aries Sun is at 12 degrees and Mars in Scorpio is 14 degrees, you would have an inconjunct aspect between the two. And if you have an inconjunct between the Sun and Mars, then an adjustment may be needed between matters that are pertaining to the self, matters that are more, again, egocentric and self-centered, and sexual partners. One or the other may be overemphasized. The key is to find the balance, the harmony, and the equilibrium between the two. At times, you may be dominated by matters pertaining to the self, to the expense and exclusion of sexual partners, or it could be the other way around, vice versa. It could be where sexual partners at times may monopolize your time and energy to the expense and exclusion of those that are more about the self, again, more matters that are pertaining more to self-centered and egocentric interests. Now, also, the thing about this combination, too, is that the Aries Sun, and well, first I want to get back to the sexual partners. I'm going to be kind and rewind. Mars and Scorpio. With Mars and Scorpio, one or more of those people may actually be a Scorpio Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be those that are very powerful, controlling, resourceful, resilient, empowering, transforming, incisive, probing. It could be those that are secretive and mysterious, but at the same time may be vengeful, manipulative, and jealous as well. And the thing about this combination, too, is that, the Aries Sun, the Sun in astrology is our basic fundamental character, the basic nature of the person. And when you have an Aries Sun, the basic nature may be one that can forgive and forget easily. But when you have the Mars in Scorpio, the person may hold on to their anger at something or someone for a more protracted period of time. The Sun and Aries actions may be impulsive, but when you have Mars in Scorpio, the person may be a little more calculating and wait for that right time to act and attack. The actions may be more surreptitious. And the thing is, this could be an explosive combination because, again, the Aries Sun, as far as the basic fundamental character goes, the true self may be, somewhat combative and at time, and militant. And when you have Mars and Scorpio can just be flat out explosive, can really explode, when they're holding on, to something, or they want to, get their revenge or something, or, because you have that vengeful anger connected with Mars and Scorpio. And, it's a lot of, it's anger that is like, may not be shown, readily, but it's something that can come out, very strong, if really pushed, when, it could be where, you have, the Mars and Scorpio again could wait for that time, to unleash that anger, and may hold it in for a little bit, but it can be very powerful when it does, actually come out. And the thing about, this too is that, the Aries Sun can be militant and warlike, and the Scorpio Mars may be more about often engage in like psychological warfare. This could be a person, if involved in sports, could understand very well how to get like the psychological edge over the opponent. And again, this combination can have very strong willpower, and because Aries Sun means Sun is about our willpower, and again, the Sun, it's in its exaltation in Aries, and Mars is about, combat and confrontation and standing up, for the self and, others, I would say as well. It's about courage. And when you have that, Mars being in its dignity in Scorpio, of course, it's a very good placement for this. So it is a placement that can be, have, that strong, inordinate willpower. Scorpio is a sign that has very strong willpower. And again, as I was stating before, that the Mars in Scorpio may be capable of doing things that may appear, insurmountable or unattainable to others. They could be capable of very, strong, inordinate, things, and be able to accomplish much because of this. The Sun in Aries, as far as the basic self, is capable of doing much because the basic character is one that has, little or no physical fear. And the Mars and Scorpio person can show a lot of willpower to be able to get through, their situations, and also, I would say, an ability to bounce back, even if they've lost a battle. Mars and Scorpio will often find that way to win the war. Aries Sun understands about fighting and winning, and Mars and Scorpio can often bounce back from a defeat and be able to fight again readily. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.